All right, gang, I am making a little video for the Husqvarna T435 top handle chainsaw. Basically, I have taken off the bar and want to replace the sprocket. I wanted to get a Panther conversion kit, which would be a 1/4 inch chain on, I think it's still the 0.043 inch gauge bar, but they don't have that for the T435. So Oregon has the Speed Cut Nano conversion kit that gives you a different bars, 12, 14, 16 inch bar, but kicks it down to a 0.43 inch gauge bar, and the 0.325 inch chain, low profile, makes it a little thinner. I hear these cut really well. It's supposed to be very cool. You hear August Haneke talking about it all the time and how badass it is. So I was going to show you how to take off the sprocket, because we have to replace the sprocket, the chain, and the bar so the system works all together. And so I was going to show you how to replace this little sucker. Now normally you're going to have to take off the spark plug, which is on the underside here, which we will do, and you have to get some sort of piston stop in there. Normally use some cordage with knots in it. Well, it doesn't want to get into that small hole because the spark plug is very small. So I bought myself a 10mm by 1mm, makes it a fine thread, about 1mm. Don't get the 1.5mm or else it'll be too coarse and will not fit into the spark plug hole. And I got this one roughly 1.5 inches. You can go a little bit bigger. And I'm going to use that as my piston stop. So when I crank this thing, because it's got to be cranked into a clockwise motion to get off, it will work like a champ. So let's see. All right, first thing we will do, take the spark plug out that's on the bottom of the chainsaw. It's got a little case here. You can use a Phillips or a regular flathead screwdriver. Set that off to the side, because if you're anything like me, you lose everything. Pop off the spark plug cover. Move that off to the side there. I found it is a 5/8 that fits on there nicely. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this thing works. Keep hearing it's supposed to be really nice, shouldn't be chunking down a tree with it, but everything else should be good. Now I'm going to screw in my 10mm by 1mm bolt, which will act as a piston stop, so I can get the sprocket off. And this one happens to be an 11/16 head. It's probably metric, so it's probably more like a 14 or a 16 or something like that. I'm just going to screw that in there like so. Or attempt to. There you go. Got to get it down. I think we're in there. Yeah, a little bit more than hurt. And I will be able to find out by taking this. This is a 13mm head on. stopped. So we will go clockwise to loosen it, as opposed to up here. So oh no, see, I did not get it down far enough because it is still turning. So a little further we will go. Maybe get a 2-inch bolt. I got a 1.5. Which, yeah. All right, now let's see where we're at here. And again, go clockwise. There it is, that was it. And it pops off. And like I said, usually it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but it's going to be opposite because the sprocket moves in a clockwise position and we don't want it to automatically loosen. All right, got our clutch off. Now we take our sprocket, there will be a washer. Set it aside. Take off our sprocket and set it aside, and there's some little bearings here as well. What we want to do is clean this area, inspect the bearings, make sure they're good. Add a little grease to it, put it back, and then we'll add our new sprocket on there. And I don't have it. Usually I'll just use anti-seize, but I don't have any of that handy. So I'll just use a little bit of greasy oil. Put that on there. We'll get our new Oregon Speed Cut Nano Sprocket. Super speed cutting abilities. Trees won't stand a chance. Ooh, slides on there nicely. Put it like that. Make sure the washer is all hunky-dory. All right, and then we'll do sprocket back on. Back on is going to be lefty-tighty, not righty-tighty. So, finger tighten that back on. All right. Put it in the reverse position. And nice hand tight. Don't need to go crazy, just like that. All right. There we go. Nice and tight on there. Let's take out our piston stop bolt, which 2-inch would probably be better. Okay, so that's 11/16 head on that. Take that off to the side. We'll put our, I want to move this around real quick just to make sure she's turning like it should. That's tight. Should I go one way? Forward. Which it does like a champ. Alright, sprocket is nice and tightly on there. Our stop is out, so we can go ahead and put our spark plug back in. I know, weird spot for the spark plug, but it's a top handle. Where else is it going to go? Tighten it. We'll put the lid back on there. Okay. got that in there, got that in there. Our clutch is on there, we're spinning like we should. Let's put the chain on, huh? Like I said, speed cut nano, 043 gauge there, as opposed to the old Husqvarna 050. 325 low profile chain, a little thinner, a little less drag through the wood. Like it was just such a treacherous job before, right? Yeah, a little whiner. Come to me, little handle. Get her all tightened up. Sorry if I'm blocking it. Nice and a little tight so it springs back. Alrighty, that should be good to go. Should we fire it up? Uh-oh, something's up. And we'll start it up for good measure. Just make sure everything's good to go. Next, we'll see how this thing cuts. Hope that was helpful for you.